One of the most frequently asked questions over the past 6 months is whether or not your employer can require you to be vaccinated in order to come to work or take a COVID test to prove that you're negative. Well, the United States Supreme Court has issued a decision that sheds some clarity on this very issue. The Biden administration has tried to enforce sweeping vaccine or test requirements for large private companies. The United States Supreme Court has blocked this, but they have allowed the vaccine mandate to stand for medical facilities that take Medicare or Medicaid payments. This applies to hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and any facility that gets paid through Medicare or Medicaid. The original mandate required that a business with 100 or more employees either get vaccinated or submit a negative COVID test weekly in order to enter the workplace. It also required unvaccinated workers to wear masks indoors while at work. The Supreme Court stayed the OSHA mandate just 3 days after it took effect on Monday, January 10th. The court voted 6-3 in favor of staying the OSHA vaccine or test requirement. And the majority found that although it is a risk in many workplaces, it is not an occupational hazard. At the same time, the justices voted 5-4 to allow the Biden administration to continue with the vaccine requirements for healthcare workers. Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh switched sides on this one. Now keep in mind, it is not the court's job to determine whether the vaccine and testing requirements are good or bad. Their function is to determine who has the right to implement those requirements. Now, as far as government workers go, whether you're employed by the state or the federal government, the decision does not address that. And when you're talking about who has the authority to do so, I don't think there is any doubt that the government, whether it's the state government or the federal government, has the authority to enforce a vaccine or a negative test requirement. So private employers are free to impose their own restrictions and require their employees to be vaccinated or submit to a negative COVID test. But the federal government cannot mandate them to do so. So to sum this all up, the federal government cannot require employers of any size. I mean, they were doing it for companies of 100 employees or more, but the federal government cannot impose a mask mandate or a negative test requirement on private companies, but they can do it for any healthcare facilities that accept Medicare and Medicaid. And if you're a government worker, then you have to abide by their requirements, and if they require you to submit to a COVID test or to be vaccinated, then you have to do that. If you found this information helpful, follow me on YouTube. Or if you have questions, feel free to give me a call at any time. We're happy to take your calls and answer any questions that we can. The number is 1-855-RIZZUTO. And again, if you found this information helpful, check out my other videos, and I'll see you there.